Der nächste Präsentant wird der Herr Olbert sein. Herr Olbert, vielleicht während ich Sie ganz kurz vorstelle, mögen Sie schon Ihre Präsentation hochladen. So the next presenter will be Mr. Olbert. He's the CEO of Linus Digital Finance based in Berlin. Linus Digital Finance ist ein Unternehmen, was einen exklusiven Zugang zu Investments bietet, die sonst eben nur institutionelle Investoren, wie zum Beispiel Family Office, Versicherungen oder Banken vorbehalten sind. So what is the business of Linus Digital Finance? Exclusive access to investments that are otherwise reserved for institutional investors, such as family offices, insurance companies or banks. Und über die Plattform von Linus können eben Anleger als Co-Investor in Real Estate investieren. So investors can be invest in real estate as co-investors via the Linus Plattform. Und so profitieren eben Anleger von attraktiven Renditen und diversifizieren ihr Portfolio auf institutionellem Niveau. And that means that in this way investors benefit from attractive returns and diversify their portfolio on an institutional level. Dann darf ich an Herrn Olbert, CFO von Linus Digital Finance, übergeben. Herr Olbert.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Eduardo. Thank you very much, Mr. Data. I have a much easier job now than the presenters before me. Because number one, I don't need to make sense of so many different directions the market is going into. So thank you very much for your analysis. And number two, I have the privilege of speaking in English and also having slides in English, which for my simple brain makes it a lot easier. I would like to make this as interactive as possible towards the end. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. It's always a privilege to have such direct investor contact. So thank you very much for attending, first of all, and please feel welcome to ask questions at the end of my presentation. I will start by the beginning. Linus Digital Finance, what we do as a business. Essentially, we've built a platform that consists of two sides. We have an investment and syndication side, and we have an origination side to the business. On the investment syndication side, we have a digital platform as well as a lot of analog channels to distribute real estate investments to high net worth individuals, affluent investors, family offices, and institutional investors. With the digital platform focusing on high net worth and affluent investors, we have an origination business where we source top-tier real estate deals, especially in private debt space, and where we service tickets of 5 to 100 million euros. In this space, competitive edge is that we focus on what we call kind of a mid-cap market, meaning the kind of real estate financing, the kind of deals that are too big for individuals, many real estate developers themselves, as well as most family offices. But at the same time, too small for the really large institutional funds of the BlackRocks, Blackstones, and KKRs of this world. Whereas on the investment and syndication side, we cater a lot to high net worth individuals, affluent investors, professional investors, because we can offer them access to institutional grade products that they usually wouldn't be able to access by themselves. In this setup, we've deployed well over €1 billion since inception, which was in 2016. What makes us special as a business is we have a completely digital access for our investors. In all the investments we syndicate and distribute, we also act as an anchor investor, meaning that as a firm, we invest balance sheet money into these deals so that there are two reasons for it. Number one, we can secure deals in a much better way, and we can approach the market as an investor, not as a broker, as many other platforms would. Number two, it also shows that we have skin in the game and we actually believe in the products that we sell. We have extensive real estate investment expertise in-house, and we work with top-tier strategic partners such as Bain Capital for the sourcing, but also the financing of many of the deals we originate. A few headline numbers to give you an idea of where we are as a business. So far, the platform we have executed well over 65 mid-cap deals. We have deployed well over €1 billion at the moment. We're about 1.3, 1.4, where we've collected over €880 million in co-investments through our platform and other channels. We've collected over 2,500 qualified users on our platform. These are users that fit within the investment criteria and actually have the funds to invest in the products that we sell. And we've delivered 7.5% average interest to the co-investors on our platform. Few very quick investment highlights. Why we see a lot of potential in our firm and the markets we operate. Number one, we are active in a very large market with a huge TAM. Number two, we bring this large market into a new digital age and are able to unlock institutional real estate investing for a new set of investors. Number three, we have a captive and growing investor base through our platform. Four, there's a positive flywheel effect in our platform-driven business. We've built scalability around it, and in terms of financials, we have a platform that delivers income streams from different sources and functions in a very capital-light manner. In terms of total addressable market, I'll keep it short because I think it doesn't stretch the imagination too much to see that real estate investing is a huge asset class that we're addressing. The investors that we're targeting, which in our case are kind of the lower end of high net worth individuals and some affluent investors, is a huge wealth bracket in Western Europe of over €4 trillion. And we also see kind of a long-term trend that has continued actually in this market environment to real estate and alternative assets. And that's something where we as a platform can give our investors very attractive access to real estate investing in a slightly different way. How do we do that? We have three main product lines, what we call lines of growth. These are real estate private debt opportunities that yield between 6 to 10%. The underlying there are real estate developments, meaning a real estate developer is constructing something or needs acquisition finance, is involved in some sort of a value add activity, meaning that these are short-term value add opportunities where the underlying asset actually sees an appreciation. Here, we can offer really a very attractive profile of relatively short investment horizons of 6 to 48 months with very attractive yields. Linus core, these are actually stabilized cash producing assets that we purchase and then allow investors on our platform to invest in a partial ownership model. And we also offer partner funds of top-tier institutional investors as a kind of a third-party product. These are always institutional-grade products that, as a private individual, you would usually not have access to, with minimum tickets of 5, 10 million euros and the likes, which we then break down and distribute through our platform. I encourage you to check it out after the conference. Is a bit like a real estate. It's a bit like a web shop for real estate investments. It's completely digital product access. You can see all the deals that are currently investable. Signing in and checkout is completely digitized, and we can basically allow you to invest in institutional grade real estate opportunities from the comfort of your own home in a very short time period of 24 hours. The clients that we target, as I mentioned, it's more professional investors, affluent, high net worth individuals. Average investment tickets at the moment around 500,000 euros, with a very attractive development over time, where usually investors start off with a small investment. We've indexed at 100, and then over time, as they see that the model works, tend to reinvest, and within 12 months, on average, our cohorts double in the average invested amount. The model that we built, in our view, has a very positive flywheel effect where we grow an investor base, which leads to a growing syndication volume on our platform, which in turn leads to more deals and partnerships that we can source, which in turn leads to better access to products and real estate investments, and that again fuels the growing co-investor base. Our platform income can be broken down to three distinct income streams. The brokerage fees, these are fees paid for by real estate developers that use our financing. Asset management fees and other fees that derive from the underlying funds that we use to make our real estate investments. And then there's net interest and spread. This is driven by a very simple fact. When we syndicate investments on our platform, we always take a certain spread above the yield that the interest that the real estate sponsors are paying, and this is an income stream that's been building up over time. Overall, we've built a very capital-efficient model in the way we conduct our business. The funding for the real estate deals that we source is off balance sheet, because we use bridging funds and external fund vehicles that institutional investors can invest into for kind of to finance the real estate deals that we do. We syndicate a lot of senior exposures to banks and institutional investors, and we have a co-investment model for junior tranches that we then syndicate on our platform. This is kind of the very quick overview of our business. I hope I kept to time of 15 minutes.
Works, yes, perfect.
And now I'd be very happy to take your questions.
Ganz herzlichen Dank. Thanks so much. Wir haben im Vorfeld bereits ein paar Fragen bekommen. We already received a few questions beforehand. Und die erste Frage ist, Linus hat jüngst eine Ad-Hoc-Meldung vermeldet, dass aufgrund von Unsicherheiten im makroökonomischen Umfeld eine verlässliche Abschätzung des Geschäftsverlaufs derzeit nicht möglich sei. Linus recently announced an ad-hoc release that due to uncertainties in the macroeconomic environment, a reliable estimate of the business development is currently not possible. Und die Frage ist, welche makroökonomischen Faktoren beeinflussen das Geschäft von Linus primär und wie haben sich diese Faktoren im ersten Halbjahr entwickelt? So the question is, which macroeconomic factors primarily influence Linus' business and how did these factors develop in the first half of the year?
So, I mean, the main drivers for our business are construction activity, because we finance a lot of project development, as well as real estate deal volume, and obviously interest rates and all the macroeconomic inputs that lead into that. Because as of now, the main source of our income is driven by the demand for real estate financing, especially in the project development side. There, what we've seen is new construction decline quite a bit, driven by an inflationary environment where construction materials have increased a lot in price, driven by uncertainty in terms of real estate valuations, as well as interest rates. So on that side of the business, we've seen a decline. On the other hand, real estate deals are still occurring, and these need to be financed. And there we've actually seen a positive development driven by the following. A lot of real estate sponsors and a lot of real estate deals are now struggling to find traditional bank financing. So in this environment, as kind of an alternative lender, we have seen a good development in terms of business. And the third, I would say, driver for our business is the demand for alternative investments from private high net worth individuals. And that's something that, as of now, is developed flattish to declining, and that's driven by the overall uncertainty in current markets.
Thanks a lot, ganz herzlichen Dank. Eine weitere Frage, follow-up question. Wie genau unterscheiden sich die Investitionen in einem Immobiliendachfonds im Vergleich zu den Investitionsmöglichkeiten über Linus? So how exactly does investing in real estate funds of funds differ from investing through Linus? Die konkrete Frage, warum sollten Anleger über Linus in Immobilien investieren und warum nicht einfach in einen Immobiliendachfonds? So the question, why should investors invest in real estate through Linus and why not just invest in a real estate fund of funds?
Thank you very much for the question. So let's start with what a regular real estate investment fund, REIT, or the likes does. Essentially, is you have an investment manager who invests in usually stabilized cash-producing assets, and usually diversifies. Gives you the opportunity to invest in kind of different real estate asset classes, and that tends to be kind of a rather stable, low to medium return kind of product. Our approach is slightly different. I mean, the product that we offer is more the kind of real estate investing that family office or institutional investor does, meaning we look for opportunities where there's an actual value increase, something is actually happening with an asset that leads to much higher returns. As I mentioned in my presentation, new construction, value add, something is being refurbished and then resold. Someone needs short-term acquisition financing, is willing to pay a bit more. So these are kind of the opportunities we give access to, and we do so on a deal-by-deal basis. So the difference is, with us, you can invest on an individual asset or an individual deal. So as an investor, you can really look at the underlying underlying asset and make up your own mind as to which deals you would like to invest into. Number two, we don't have a liquidity requirement, so you actually get the liquidity premium because you sit out the investment period of 1 to 3, 4 years. And number four is we tend to work in a part of the market that is not that transparent and liquid, and therefore we can offer attractive returns in this kind of mid-cap segment that usually the large funds are not active in.